Hey everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have another fun Halloween card to share with you today. Hey, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's Gnome Want Candy outline dies, the Gnome Want Candy stamp set, the Gnome dies, the Postage dies from Jaded Blossom, the rectangle dies, and Jaded Blossom's Gnome dies Halloween add-ons. I also pull out our card mat dies and our Halloween banner dies later. So this is a piece of paper tray ink black cardstock, 4.25 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 5.5 inches with my Teflon bone folder and my Martha Stewart scoreboard, but any of those will do. Anything will do, but you really do need a Teflon bone folder because it's just the best, let's be honest. Okay, so I did go ahead and I cut out a piece of cheapo white cardstock for the inside, cut it 4 by 5.25 inches, just because I like to have a white area to write to my recipient. So I'm just going to stick that down with my ATG tape. And then, like I said, I'll quickly put this in place. Working on a Stampin' Up! Pad as per usual. It's kind of my jam, right? There you go. And then I'm just going to reinforce that fold. Now this strip of paper, it's a 1-inch strip. Now I cannot tell you where I got it. I do know it's Doodlebug. The stars are flocked on it. It's super cute paper, but it's super old. But any strip of paper, Halloween paper that matches your design will work. I just wanted to use this paper up because I have it in my collection of Doodlebug Halloween stuff. Now this is a piece of paper cut with our card mat dies from Doodlebug. I believe that's October 31st. I used October 31st from Doodlebug, 6-inch and 12-inch. I used Ghouls and Goodies 12-inch paper line, just so you know. And those will be listed on my blog. Now, okay, so that striped paper, that striped rectangle, that is cut with our rectangle dies, 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches. And then I'm going to stick it down on a piece of American Crafts cardstock that is 1/8 of an inch larger, black cardstock, obviously. Now this is also Doodlebug paper that's super old. It's glittery. It has glittery stripes, and I have no idea what the name of it is. But, I'm just pulling out patterns that go together. Now, the Postage die is 3 1/4 inches by 4.5 inches, and I did cut that out of black cardstock from American Crafts and out of Ghouls and Goodies 12-inch. There we go. So it's just, a green on green pattern. And remember, when you have a buffer, like a border, like I did with the black, that kind of helps everything, go together better, right? But all the colors are coordinated. Those little skulls have all those colors in the eyes. So, it's easy. So I'm using my ATG tape and putting stuff down. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm adding some VersaFine Clear or VersaFine Onyx Black ink around the edge with a little sponge dauber. The reason I'm doing this is it gives it even more of a buffer between the patterns, right? It's sort of like adding another frame because I'm going to be staggering those 2 Postage dies. Okay, so first of all, I cut out the little Halloween hat, and that's from the Gnome Dies Halloween Add-ons. I cut it out in white first, but then I realized I wanted it in gray, so I pulled out Spectrum Noir marker in IG4. It's just a gray alcohol marker, and I just colored my white paper tray ink cardstock with that. Now I'm going to stick down his little beard first. Remember the gnome dies, the male gnome dies, you always want to start with the beard. Then you can pop on the hat because the hat lines up with the beard, right? But with this one, remember, you've got to alter the little shadow underneath. You've got to trim off the top, whatever's poking out from behind this hat. So you want to line it up. There you go. And then I'm just going to make sure nothing black is showing underneath. I always cut it out of cheapo black cardstock, the shadow. Now this paper, this little, star pattern, I believe that's from October 31st. There we go. And these are all Doodlebug's old lines, but you could use a new line from Doodlebug to make this card. Okay. Now I'm going to add on the little cute spider that is cut out of paper tray ink black cardstock. And I'm just kind of lining it up on there, and I will weight it down. Okay. Now I'm planning on popping up his little mustache. That's American Crafts gray cardstock. It's kind of what I tend to use for the beards and the hair on these little gnomes. So I'm just going to pop that up with my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And then I will peel off the release paper, and then I'm going to pop down that little mustache on top of the hat, sort of overlapping the top of the hat. Now the little nose was cut out of P13's Skin Toad stamping pad. And I'm going to add that to the top, to the mustache with some art glitter glue. And I do weight it down just to make sure it sticks down nice and flat. Now I'm going to pop up his little feet. His feet are cut out of American Crafts cardstock in black. And I'm just going to pop those up on those little black nubs. There you go. And, you know, like I said, this is a super cute little guy. This is from, like I said, the Gnome Dies Halloween Add-ons, and then you have to use our Gnome Dies also. Now, this little skull is also from that Gnome Dies Halloween Add-ons. I did put that together during our release and review for that. But, you know, it's very straightforward. That is cut out of the paper I used for this was Paper Trank White and American Crafts Black. And then the little hands were cut out again from that P13 stamping pad. There we go. So I'm just trying to, you know, get everything popped up. And now skulls aren't cute usually, right? Let's be honest. So this is going to be kind of a spooky one. Now I'm pulling out my clear sparkle pen from Spectrum Noir, and I'm just going to add some glitter to that spider web, just so when it catches the light, it does glisten a little bit. I don't know if I can show it to you there. Just going to make sure that it's very glittery. And there, can you sort of see it? Anyways, in real life, it's very glittery. It's got a nice clear sparkle. So now I'm going to stick down these postage dies. The first one I'm going to have kind of tilting to the right, to the left on the top of the card, and the other one will be kind of tilting, you know, or in the bottom right-hand corner. Now I did cut out that Haunting with my Gnomies. I stamped that onto Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and it was stamped in VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. And I did cut out the background again, like the outline again, out of black Paper Trank cardstock. Okay, so there you go. There's my little nest. And now that's where my little gnome's going to go. So I think I'm going to stick him down in the lower right-hand corner of this card. So this is super easy. Remember, all the attention is on the gnome, right? As it should be, because, you know, Jada Blossom's gnomes are adorable. There you have it. So I'm just going to stick him down, trying to make sure he's where I want him. And then I will weight him down with an acrylic block just to make sure he sticks down nice and flat. Now this I'm going to offset. So this says Haunting with my Gnomies, which is perfect because it's got kind of a spooky look with the skull, right? And I'm just going to offset that background, that black background piece. And then I'm going to pop that onto the front of my card with some dimension. And I'm just using some dimensionals on the one side. And then I will glue the rest flat. There you have it. So I'm just trying to make sure that's straight, which is always, you know, difficult when you've got things on an angle on your card. It kind of throws the eye off. Then I did go ahead and I cut out our Halloween banner dies from Jaded Blossom. And I cut out the background piece out of American Crafts black cardstock, and all the little skulls were cut out of Paper Trank white cardstock. And I'm just going to line them all up on this little banner because I thought, why not, right? We've got kind of a spooky skull theme going on, so we might as well keep it going. So I'm going to alternate the girl skull and the boy skull, or I call it a girl skull just because it has hearts for eyes, but really it could be a boy skull. It doesn't really matter, whatever you want. But I'm alternating these two different skull patterns across this banner, and I will weight down each one as I go. And using my art glitter glue kind of as per usual. There we are. So it's all these banners are super cute from Jaded Blossom. So easy to use. You don't have to even use them as a banner. You can just use them as little embellishments on your card. Just, you know, layer up one, trim it out, and use it. I do that all the time. And now that is my last one, and I'll pop that one in place. There we go. Now I will be only using 4 on the front of the card. So that's what I do. I trim off the back, and then I will pop up these little skulls with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I don't bother with the little string that they're hanging on, the banner part. I'm just going to have that kind of tilting, you know, higher on the left, lower on the right. And there you go. So it kind of fills the space up there. So now on the inside, I'm going to stamp a sentiment from Jaded Blossom's Gnome Want Candy stamp set. And instead of using an outline die, I just stamp it. So Spooky Halloween Wishes and Gnome Kisses to the inside, right? And that's with that VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. And then I'm going to use these two little skulls on the inside. So this is how I use them. I just trim off that string. And then I'm just going to pop them on with some glue. So, you know, easy. I like to add a little something to the inside, right? To make it special, like I always say. There you go. I do weight them down to make sure they stick down well. Now I'm going to pull out Doodlebug Shape Sprinkles. These are called Star Attraction. And I'm just going to use the black ones. And I'm going to use 3 in a visual triangle, right? Kind of like I always do. Just trying to decide where they go. I'm using my pen blade there to try and, you know, decide where they're going to stick down. It's kind of easy to get stuff off of those acetate sheets with the pen blade. I'm just trying to decide how to get this in a visual triangle. And that is how I end up doing it. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog, Be Inspired, the Jaded Blossom store to get your hands on these amazing products. And thank you as always for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you soon in my next one. Bye everyone.